morning. We are back in Chicago, and it is chilly. It's like 37, and chill at like 30. And today is long run day, but before we get to the full long run, I am heading down to Mayfair Park in Westchester, Illinois, where I live. There is a Veterans 5K. Let's see if I can hop on that real quick. Not going to really race it, just go for a nice morning run. Good job, man. Good job.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? This is the bib from the Veterans 5K here in Westchester, Illinois that was run this morning, which is November 14th. It's always good to get out in the local races, kind of interact with the community, and support local causes. And the cause today was veterans, as you know, maybe you don't know. Last Thursday, so I guess 4 days ago, was Veterans Day here in the United States, so we certainly thank everyone who's served in the military actively or in the past, and obviously we all really appreciate your sacrifice. We'll talk a little bit more about the race in a second. Obviously it's a Sunday. Kansas City Chiefs play tonight. I'm trying to go back ahead in the division. Not been the best year, but that's okay. So let's go back to kind of the 5K. I first found out about this 5K, I think probably about a month ago. Our local township here, they send out a monthly newspaper/newsletter. The 5K was referenced in that. I think it's kind of an annual event that obviously went on hiatus last year in 2020 due to COVID, like so many other races and other events, and it was back this year. So I really kind of wanted to get out and be involved for really the first time, at least my first time running this 5K. As you know, I'm training hopefully for a PR in a turkey trot, which is a week and a half away now. So the real purpose of today's run, as I was going out the door, was just to get in probably about 15 miles, roughly 2 hours, just kind of working on the base aerobic engine. And as I was going out the door, on my watch and my phone, I got the calendar notification that the Veterans 5K started in 15 minutes. And so I did a quick Google search on the map. It turned out that the starting location was just under a mile from my house, so I kind of got all my gear on, or I already had my gear on, and took off down the road, signed up this morning, got a bib in the race, really had a great time. It's a lot of fun to run not super competitive races, to run races where everyone's out just to have a good time. And that's really what today was. Finished second place, but I really wasn't racing today. I think my time was, let's see, I have it here, is 20 minutes and 20 seconds, so 6:32 per mile pace, so a full minute and 14 seconds off my PR. Just figured I'd go out with kind of the leaders, and the leaders turned out to be a group of high schoolers, which is always kind of fun to run with people in high school or college that are back in their local communities. The winner ended up being a high schooler, so congratulations to Lewis. I won't go last name, privacy, all that sort of stuff, especially for kids in high school, but congratulations to Lewis for winning the local 5K. It was a lot of fun, and the course was really kind of interesting. I've never run it before. We started by the local park. Most of it was streets, but as you know, in a lot of my videos, we have a nice trail, the Salt Creek Path. It's called different things in different sections, but I just call all of it the Salt Creek Path. And so the course kind of went through the streets, went up onto the path, stayed on the path for about a mile, and then we have kind of a busy road. It's a 4-lane, well 5-lane if you include the turn lane, kind of main thoroughfare that goes straight through our town. It's Mayfair Avenue, and they interestingly enough like shut down a single lane of that road to run in. And so, you know, we came back up out of the trail, went down Mayfair Road in the single lane. I've never really had a race like that because I think the speed limit on Mayfair is like 45 miles per hour. So cars were like zipping by as we were running in a single lane. So that was kind of an interesting situation. Obviously stayed as far over to the sidewalk as possible and turned back into the neighborhood, went, you know, a couple turns around, a few blocks, and back to the finish line. It was a really fun race. I think it was put on by the Fleet Feet people. I'd have to double check that. But, you know, obviously they do a great job. It was bib timed. You'll see in one of the videos, one of the things that was kind of weird is the clock got started like a full minute before they actually sent the runners off. So when you're coming across the finish line, there was, you know, over 60 seconds added to the time from when you started. And, you know, you'll see in the video, I just kind of started right up front because I figured I'd go with whoever the leaders would be, and I had no idea who those would be. But when we came back around, I was thinking to myself, wow, that's a much slower pace than I originally intended. But you know, afterwards got on the Athlinks website, which is where they were aggregating the data, and you know, it was like 6.5 minutes per mile, which was kind of what I was going for. Not a terribly difficult pace, but a nice one. Get the heart rate going up a little bit. One of the things you'll notice, maybe in the video, or you already noticed in the running footage, was I mean, I had gone out the door this morning really kind of prepared for 15 miles in the cold. It's like 36 degrees, 37 degrees when I left this morning. Wind chill was like 29 or 30 degrees. Wind was high too, like 15, 20 miles per hour with gusts up to close to 30. So I was really kind of bundled up, ready for 2 hours out on the road and trail. And obviously running a 5K, even if you're not out and outright racing it, you get pretty warm, right, with all that stuff on. Because, you know, I had on a hoodie, a beanie, a neck gaiter, had on a really thin base layer, insulated joggers, gloves, the whole 9 yards. And so during the race, I was like, you know, taking off my hat, taking off my neck gaiter, taking off my gloves, and that was, you know, just really kind of overheated, which kind of bled into the long run. The long run itself, let's see what that ended up being. So after the race, you know, I kind of hung out for a few minutes, you know, congratulated other runners as they would come across the finish line. It was a fun time just kind of sitting there. Went back out for the rest of the long run, did 11 miles, did 8:42 per mile, so relatively chill. And then including like the mile from my house to the run got me to 15 miles. So it was like a mile to the 5K, obviously 3.1 miles, and then 11 miles in the long run for 15 miles on the day. Not exactly the shape that I was anticipating, but I'm glad that I made that call to switch up and hop into the race. It was a good fun time. The shoes today were the Saucony Endorphin Speeds, the original. I've not actually run the two. I have a pair of the Run Shield 2s coming. Hopefully they get here today or tomorrow. Just a few words. I'm going to do, I think, a big review on the Saucony Endorphin Speed, the original, because I'm finishing out my third pair. The first pair I took to 400 miles. The second pair I took to 350 miles. The third pair, the ones that I ran in today, are now at about 320 miles. I kind of only intended to go to 300, but you know, we just got back from vacation in Destin, Florida, and I do try to run on vacation, maybe drop the mileage a little down. I think I ended up with like 35, 37 miles, something like that, while I was on vacation, as opposed to like 50. So I pulled the mileage down, but I still get some workouts in. I only want to take one pair of shoes, and the Endorphin Speeds are just so versatile that all of my running last week was in the Speeds, and that put me, you know, a little higher than originally intended. I was going to cut it off at 300 this time, but it's just a wonderful shoe. We'll have a full, like, long-term review coming up on that shoe, hopefully sometime this week, and we'll also do like an initial review on the Endorphin Speed 2 Run Shield. because I'm pretty excited about those. Everyone else done reviews have really liked that shoe, and I'm excited to use that in this training block for Austin. I guess that's kind of all I've got today. It was good to get out there again. Here is the dog tag that we got for running in the Veterans 5K. Here's the bib. It was nice to just go out, be in the community, and just really kind of enjoy the sport of running. You know, I love competition. I love challenging myself. I love, you know, in a race where I can hang with people, just kind of trying to go and really do better than last time. But I also enjoy just enjoying the camaraderie and the sport of running with other people. And that's really what today was about, particularly with all the high schoolers and college age kids and then like their parents out. It was a really good time. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for tuning in. I will send it to some footage of the long run.